It has been brought to my attention by one of my listeners that I have a down opinion of Dalvin Cook. I would like to set that straight. Now stick around, listen to my contest. I got Dalvin Cook, that and more next. Hello, Viking fans. I'm going to do a giveaway. I want to describe it to you. I'm going to give away $100 worth of merchandise if you're choosing. If I get to 1,000 subscribers, 75 if I get to 750, 50 if I get to 500, 25 if I get to 250. I'm going to choose one person from an episode. So I'm going to choose an episode, and I'm going to choose one person as long as they're liked, subscribed, and commented. And you can do multiple comments, multiple entries. You can actually go back to my old videos and do that too. Those will be eligible. Now, I'm going to choose that on game day against the Green Bay Packers. I'm going to choose one. Hopefully, it's $100, and I have 1,000 subscribers. Skol Vikes. Welcome to Minnesota Sports Talk. I'm your host, Dave. You can follow me on Twitter at SkullWorld and at MN Sports Podcast. You can even follow me on Facebook, SkullWorld. Go down, subscribe, click like, leave a comment. Just put Skull, enter my contest. Now, let's get started with Dalvin Cook and the bunch. Hi, Viking fans. This morning, I woke up, I go and look at YouTube to see how my last video is doing. Doing very well. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Keep that going. Leave a comment. I want to hear from you guys. That also enters my contest. Can't plug that enough, guys. However, I read a comment, and it's a good comment. It's fine. I challenge YouTubers, get their opinions, call them on it when you think they're wrong. I had, I won't say his name, good listener, says, Dave, my only question is, why are you so down on Cook? I mean, bruh, he is a top 3 back in the league, and our biggest weapon on offense, besides JJ, questions. Honestly, I have no idea where someone might get that. I only think maybe he might have listened to a video where I might say the Vikings are going to think about contracts. Running back position is devalued. If anybody I said was going to be off the team for sure next year was Madison. So I decided to do a running back depth chart. Now, a running back depth video. I did one on the receiver, said that potentially was the deepest position on the Vikings roster. Well, running back would be the other one if it's not receiver. So I decided to do that today. Hopefully, this will dispel any idea of whether or not I have anything against Dalvin Cook. In fact, I said we've had the best running back room in the league. I've said that on a live show. So, and I've also said Dalvin Cook would get 1,500 yards only because he would be injured sometime during the season or have to sit out. And that would be the only reason why he didn't get more than 1,500 yards. I mean, total offense, not just running. But, and like last year, he was pretty close to that. So I think he'd easily get over that this year with the new offense. And so let's dive into it. I like to look at Pro Football Focus. They don't really have a bias, I'd say, for any team. Now, they're high on the Vikings. And they said the 3 top-ranked teams above the Vikings, so they ranked us 4th, are the Cleveland Browns with Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, Dearness Johnson, Indianapolis Colts with Jonathan Taylor, Nyheim Hines, Phillip Lindsay, and the Green Bay Packers, Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon. All fair. I mean, we know what Aaron Jones is like, and A.J. Dillon fills in pretty well when Aaron Jones is out. Can't say enough about Jonathan Taylor, and Nick Chubb is pretty solid. That's who I had as my fantasy running back last year. He saved me on plenty of games. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't make the playoffs. Now, what they say is the top 3, the Vikings, to enter the top 3, the Vikings need Cook to stay completely healthy for an entire season for the first time in his career. The talent is undoubted. He is the elite running back with the potential for more involvement in the passing game. He could become even more dangerous. Now everything points to that. Everything about the offense, that Dalvin Cook is lining up at receiver, and that's where I'm excited. When I made that 1,500-yard prediction, that was before I heard all the good things coming out of camp of him. How they're going to utilize him more, and I think it's great. I'll still stick with the 1,500 yards, above 1,500 yards. I'm not gonna bump it up, but I'd say 1,800 is a 1900 is a good ceiling. I just think we just got too many weapons to give that much offense to where he's over 2,000. But 1,800 to 1,900 yards is a good ceiling. Now Madison, for the most part, they say is always filled in admirably for Cook, and that's true. Honestly, I think it was a little more down last year. And I'll talk about that with his numbers. He has potential to be a lead at backfield, and with this being the last year of a rookie contract, that opportunity could be on the horizon. Ideally, he would want a bigger role and chance to show more consistency. That would also help the Vikings. As much as Madison did well when called upon, if Cook was playing, he took the vast majority of the workload. True. In fact, I often thought we overworked Cook. Cook should not be getting 25 carries a game. There's absolutely no reason Cook should get 20 carries a game. Although it's nice, but this guy is way too important to get 20 carries. Now, could he get 25 touches? Yeah. That would be a good offensive day for sure. But it would be one where maybe we're behind and he's on the field catching passes, trying to catch, and then he's early running, is a game where maybe he got a lot of carries in the first half and then the second half we're down and he needs the ball more. I would say let's limit this guy to like no more than 20 touches a game, but have him, carry. In fact, 25 is pretty good. So if you give him 15 carries, 15 to 18 carries and the rest receptions. So that's like 18 carries, 7 receptions. Wow, that would be perfect for this guy. Will it get there? Not if they do a back rotation and not in the fact that we got so many weapons on the outside. But that's my thoughts of, Dalvin Cook. And I would say he could be the best running back in the league if he stayed healthy. There's no question about that. But I think he stays healthy enough and plays hurt enough that he's going to play 14, 15 games this year, sit out 2. Hopefully one of them is he's sitting out because we've locked up the first seed in the playoffs. That'd be nice. But Dalvin Cook, man, he's a special player. I was ecstatic when we got him in the second round. I'm like, holy crap, we got a good one here. I'm from the area that I live in the area that he's from. He grew up in a rough area, man, and he came out of pretty much nothing, and he hung around a rough crowd, but made a awesome decision to leave that crowd, and he had a little issues when he went to Tallahassee, but he regrouped and he did right and he made it out of there. He had a dust up in one off previous off season, and it turns out it was probably not his doing, so that worked out good. I think he's made good decisions. I think he's obviously got the great attitude. He's got a great work ethic. He has been a consummate Viking, and this is a guy you want on the team. He's a grinder. He wants to do good. He treats us not just like a job, but a passion. And you want to have people who love football on your team. And Dalvin Cook loves football. Now I hope that clears it up. I am not down on Dalvin Cook. The only issue I would see in the future that he wouldn't be on the team is that the Vikings and other teams don't necessarily value running backs as much. And when you have a big hit on, big cap hit coming up, that in running back, if you start getting to 30 years age, that you may not have a place on the team, and that's just business with the NFL. Not any down point on my part. I still want Adrian Peterson in the league, and he's like 38. So let's tamper down whether or not I think Cook is a good player or not. I think he's could be the best running back in the league if it wasn't for him getting injured. I probably still could be because a lot of running backs get injured. Now, just looking at the Vikings depth chart, let's go through the stats. Dalvin Cook had 1,159 yards for 4.7 yards per carry. I think that 4.7, he's due to be much bigger than that in this offense. I would be shocked if he's not in the 5.5 yards per carry. I just think this offense is going to be so wide open. Yards per game, 89.2. If he stays, in the games this year, is very possible that he'll average over 100 yards. I wouldn't be shocked, but I would think it'd be more like he'd average 125 to 150 total yards. I just don't think he's going to get as many carries in the offense because I think will do pass more, and I think they'll be more cognizant and caring about the life of this player that Zimmer wasn't. I don't think we cared about Dalvin Cook under the Zimmer regime. Run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. Your running back's not made to have 25 carries, dude. That's the way I feel about it. Madison, down year, I think, average-wise, 3.7. I don't think it's his fault. I think it's the predictability of the offense. Oh, we passed on first down. We must run now on second down. Boom. No, stuffed at the line. And that's the way I think it was like. He had 491 yards. I don't see him getting more than that this year. Just don't. Dalvin Cook's going to take the load. Madison, I don't want him to see the field as a starter because I want Dalvin Cook okay. So I don't think he would get that many 134 attempts like he did last year. Just got so many weapons, but I do think that average will go up and he'll be more effective. And he's a nice change of pace back. I think he can catch out of the backfield. I think he's a good all-around running back. He could start in this league for other teams, probably half the teams. He's that good. Now, and Pro Football Focus thinks the same thing. Now, Kenny Nwangu, 61 yards. I was a little down on Kenny, but he has 4.7 yards per carry. He must have broke one really good. I cannot remember, but I think he probably broke one pretty good because it seemed like he was getting stuffed at the line a lot. Yeah, 19 yards. He had a 19-yard carry. Kirk Cousins had a 29-yard carry. He's got a 4.0 average, 115 yards. He's our third leading rusher. Kenny Nwangu, 61 yards. Yards per game, 5. I don't think he carried the ball in that many games. So 11 games played, and that's because he was hurt. Now his big mark would be in the kickoff returns, but I have not seen him catch out of the backfield, if at all, that much. Just he didn't do that at Iowa State. I don't know where he's gonna fit in this offense at running back. I know he's a great kick returner, and I love to keep him there. And if there's a place for him in a certain running scheme, and he can pass protect, I'd love to see him play more. He's so fast and so explosive. I think if they do, they're just trying to get him in space because he could just do damage. I just don't know about his vision, his decision making, his blocking ability. I don't know enough about him yet to make a good decision on him, but I sure know that man can return kicks. Let's do it. Let's keep Kenny Nwangu back there returning kicks. Hopefully we get a few more touchdowns again this year. Now, I was really high on Ty Chandler. I listed him as one of 3 really big value picks in this league. And Ty Chandler was Andrew Booth Jr., Ty Chandler, and Jalen Naylor. And I said Jalen Naylor was the biggest value, but the second biggest value is Ty Chandler. He can do it all, folks. He's explosive, very fast. He can catch out of the backfield. In fact, this is his biggest trait. He's got one of those Odell Beckham Jr. catches on his highlight reel. Pretty amazing. One-handed, jumping up really high. He's fast, got a great vertical, very explosive. But his catching ability, and the second thing I think is the best, is his vision. Now there are complaints that he doesn't hit the hole fast enough. I think that's deceptive. He does need to make decisions faster in the NFL, but he made plenty of good decisions and fast in college, and especially for a team that did throw the ball. He was used. He didn't get as much rushing yards, but still well over 1,000. But that's not exactly where his game is. He's going to be an all-around back, like a Dalvin Cook. Might even be a better pass catcher than Dalvin Cook. We'll see, man. I think we got a great future at running back with these four dudes. I'm not going to talk about the rest of them. I think these are the only four that make the team. Dalvin Cook, Alexander Madison, Kenny Nwangu, and Ty Chandler. Oh, let's not forget CJ Ham. CJ Ham is a big winner out of this draft this offseason, because they actually picked up a UDFA to play fullback, so to give him a rest. So their fullback is going to be a position on this offense. I don't know why I have a soft spot for fullbacks. Maybe it's because he played. I'm from South Dakota. He played in South Dakota in college at Augustana in Sioux Falls. That's where my sister lives. That is great. I love little school making it big, and he's a great person, great teammate, a good Viking. I'm not great, but good Viking, and I love to see this guy succeed. And it seems like every once in a while he'd be this outlet that saves the Vikings' drive. And and before last year, he was like a surefire first down on a third and 1 or 4th and 1. I like CJ Ham. I like the fullback in an offense. It's a rare breed. Hopefully he makes a Pro Bowl this year, because I think they take one fullback. I hope it's him. Now, hey, that's my Vikings depth chart. I think it's tied for first with receiver as the deepest position. I think it's arguably the best position depth in the league. They're fair. They're top 4, and only because of Dalvin Cook gets injured. If he stays healthy, this is a dominant position group. Skull Vikings. Make sure you click like. Make sure you subscribe. Comment below. Enter my contest. This is Minnesota Sports Talk. Follow me on Twitter at SkullWorld, at MN Sports Podcast. And Facebook is SkullWorld. See you next time. Skull Vikes.